Theme. State Standard HS1.T.R3.B. Investigate and assess how technical elements may support and/or represent a theme or idea in a theatrical work. Theme is the connective tissue of a story. When an author or playwright ties all other elements to a theme, the elements seem to work together and the story makes sense. When an author or playwright ignores theme, elements of the story may seem out of place or the story may seem choppy. If you've ever watched a movie or a play or read a book and didn't find yourself enjoying it, but couldn't quite figure out why, there's a strong possibility it's because the authors or creators were ignoring theme. And that's kind of understandable because theme is a tough nut to crack. It can be difficult to identify a theme, let alone stick to it as you are writing a play or book or movie. So today's lesson is about what theme is not, and how to spot it. For starters, when you think you have found a theme, you've got to check and make sure that it is actually a theme you are describing and not a plot, a topic, or a moral. Right off the bat, if you are talking about characters or events that take place in the story, you're describing the plot, not the theme. It's also very important to keep in mind that theme is not topic. Topic is the big umbrella subject that the entire story is about. Theme is the specific aspect of that subject that is being explored in the story. Again, topics are the general subject matter and they can usually be expressed in a single word. Here's a test sentence that you can use. The blank represents one word. If you think you have found the theme of your story, book, or movie, and you can fit it into this sentence, I'm so sorry to tell you, you have discovered the topic, not the theme. The test sentence is, this is a story about blank. Remember, the blank stands for a single word. So for example, when watching Romeo and Juliet and trying to identify the theme, you might say, this is a story about love. And while love is absolutely a topic of Romeo and Juliet, love is not the theme of Romeo and Juliet. An example from something like Harry Potter might be, this is a story about power. And while power absolutely shows up as a topic in Harry Potter, it is not a theme. Or you might say, Harry Potter is a story about heroism. And while absolutely heroism is a topic of the Harry Potter series, it is not a theme. Theme is much more specific than that. Theme chooses a slice of a topic to examine or asks a question about that topic. Remember, topic is the big, broad umbrella subject. Theme takes one aspect of that subject and does a deep dive exploration of it. So getting into the specifics of what a theme is. The theme is the idea that is being explored by the author, or it's a question that the author is trying to answer. It's a subject that keeps getting touched on in various ways. You'll know that you have found the theme of a story, book, movie, play, etc. when you're able to describe what it's about using more than one word and without talking about what happens or any of the characters. So for example, in a story where the topic is love, a theme might be love is blind. And when we get into plot, we might have characters interacting with each other in such a way that we're testing out whether or not love actually is blind. If our topic is power, our theme might be power is a corrupting force, especially in a story like Harry Potter that sets up good versus evil and has characters tempted onto either sides of that dichotomy. If the topic is heroism, our author might be asking the question, what makes a hero? And in fact, that one also shows up in the Harry Potter series. A work can have more than one theme. Remember, when you are identifying the theme, you should not be talking about characters or about what actually happens or the events that take place in a story. When you are doing that, when you are describing characters or the events that take place, you are talking about the plot. And you'll know you found plot, not theme, when it takes you a full compound or complex sentence or two to describe it. For example, in Romeo and Juliet, the plot is we have two teenagers from feuding families who fall in love, but the hatred between the families leads to their double suicide. I'm talking about the characters. Even though I haven't named them, I've identified that this is a story about teenagers from feuding families. I talk about events that happen by describing the double suicide. I have identified the plot, not the themes, of Romeo and Juliet. In the Harry Potter series, I could describe the theme thusly. A young boy learns he has magical abilities and must improve his skills in order to defeat the wizard that killed his parents. I just summarized 7 books in one sentence, a compound sentence, but a single sentence nonetheless. Here again, I'm talking about the characters. I've got a young boy and a wizard that killed his parents. I'm talking about the things that take place, like Harry improving his skills and defeating Voldemort. I am describing the plot, not the theme of Harry Potter. It can be easy to confuse theme and moral. Theme and moral are siblings or cousins. They're very closely related, and as a matter of fact, moral results from theme. You can't have a moral in a story that doesn't have a consistent theme. If you think about it like this, it helps. If theme is the question that the author is asking, the moral is the answer. It's the conclusion that the author reaches after experimenting with the question by having characters interact with that. So if we have a story where the theme is love is blind, and the plot goes something like this. Charlie always pictured himself with a movie cheerleader type of girl. Tall, fit, blonde, and feminine. He is partnered with Chelsea for a biology lab, a chubby gamer girl with short black curls who dresses like one of the guys, and grows to really care about her, but doesn't believe he is attracted to her until he gets super jealous when someone else asks her to prom. Charlie learns that love doesn't always look like what one expects it to look like, and if he had listened to his heart, he might not have missed out on dating a great girl like Chelsea. In that plot, Charlie learns a lesson that is related to love being blind. That lesson is don't let your expectations get in the way of finding love. That would be a moral. It's a lesson that we have learned about the theme of the plot. All of these elements are interconnected, and that's why it's so easy to get them confused. So let's talk specifically now about how to spot the theme. First thing you need to do is either read the whole book or play or watch the entire play or movie. I like to do this twice. The first time just to enjoy it and see how I react to it. The second time with a notebook in my lap. As you go through your second watch, be ready to answer these questions. First, what is each scene about? Second, what is common or similar in all of the scenes? Once you have identified that connective tissue, you are on your way to identifying the theme.